Guilt has no color, no edge, no sound. And yet it is the loudest thing in a quiet room. It sits in the lungs, in the throat, in the small places language can't reach. It is not a scream, it is a pressure. A hand on the back of the neck, guiding the head down. We mistake it for conscience, for empathy, for love. But love does not compress you into silence. Love does not require you to kneel. This is a story about good people who drown in other people's storms. About how kindness, bent by guilt, becomes a cage. About the soft violence of a smile that cannot say no. And about the thin mercy of learning to breathe again. The first apology I ever learned had no words. It was the apology of being small, quiet, helpful. Of reading faces faster than books. Of becoming weatherproof, always sunny, never thunder. Adults called it kindness. I called it survival. When you were praised for disappearing, you learned to vanish on command. You learned to carry a house on your back and call it home. You learn that peace can be purchased with your silence. And once the bargain is written, you repeat it everywhere, at tables, in offices, in beds, in mirrors. Yes, of course, I don't mind, I'm fine. Every yes a small funeral. Every smile a folded note that says, please don't leave. Empathy begins as seeing, then it becomes leaning, then it becomes carrying. Soon you are a vessel with every lid unscrewed. People pour their storms into you. You are proud of the flood, you call it purpose. But purpose that requires you to vanish is not purpose. It is a costume for fear. Fear of being ordinary, fear of being disliked. Fear of being the one who says, this is not mine to hold. We confuse tenderness with availability. We confuse endurance with goodness. We confuse exhaustion with proof that we care. Empathy becomes a reflex, not a choice. And reflex has no boundaries. Guilt is bad at math. It multiplies in the dark. Divides you by yourself, adds weight to everything you touch. You walk into a room and read it like a courtroom. Who is disappointed? Who is hurting? Who needs the apology I haven't crafted yet? You apologize for the weather, for the silence, for the noise. You apologize for having needs. You apologize in advance, just in case. No one asked, but the judge in your chest bangs the gavel anyway. Verdict: you could have done more. Guilt is a god who never says enough. Some people wear guilt like a crown. Pain becomes proof, suffering becomes credential. I stayed, I forgave, I carried what others dropped. But staying is not always love. Sometimes it is fear rehearsed to sound like virtue. Sometimes it is control disguised as care. If I bleed for you, you will not leave me. If I fix you, you will orbit me forever. Soft chains are still chains. The leash that says, I'm helping can pull just as hard. The kindest people have a room they never enter. Inside it, the air is loud. The walls are scratched with words like no and stop and mine. We don't go there. We light a candle outside the door and call it patience. We sing hymns to forgiveness with our teeth clenched. Anger, denied, does not die, it ferments. It grows teeth and learns grammar. It becomes disappointment, then pity, then a moral scalpel. I'm not angry, we say I'm just concerned. And the concern cuts cleaner than rage ever could. Cruelty in a soft voice is still cruelty. Guilt feeds on what you value most. If you worship kindness, it will make you nicer. If you worship peace, it will make you quieter. If you worship usefulness, it will make you indispensable to everyone but yourself. It whispers, give more. When you give, it says, that was the easy part. When you break, it says, you haven't earned rest. The parasite doesn't bite, it baptizes. It tells you the water is holy while it holds you under. There is a look the tired have. A glaze between the pupil and the world. A smile that fits but doesn't belong. You catch it by accident, bathroom light, late hour. You see the coursed, you see the ledger carved into the face. All the yes that meant no. All the forgiveness that meant please notice I exist. You place a hand on the glass. The mirror does not forgive. It simply reflects the unpaid bill. Guilt keeps the debt alive because paying it would end the story where you are the saint. We become meteorologists of other people's moods. We forecast, we prepare, we sandbag the doorways. When the storm approaches, we widen the smile. When the thunder begins, we lower our voice. When the flood arrives, we drown correctly, quietly, beautifully, without making a scene. We are praised for being calm under pressure. No one asks why the house keeps flooding. Should is a house with every window nailed shut. Inside it smells like old apologies and new promises. I should have known. I should have answered. I should have carried more. Should builds corridors that loop back to the same door. I'm not enough. We decorate those halls with framed charities and perfect manners. We call it home. But a home that requires you to disappear is a museum to other people's comforts. Mercy has economics, so does guilt. Mercy forgives a debt and closes the book. Guilt forgives the person and keeps the book open. It turns your compassion into interest, compounding monthly. You learn to extend credit you cannot afford, time you don't have, energy you can't replace. The ledger looks generous until you realize the currency is your life.